everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. And, we got a late arrival here. Maybe.
Jay, you have to spend lunch in detention today. You're late.
No,
detention.
No, my email was doing something crazy. They wouldn't let me log in. And it was, I don't know, it was. Anyway, I am here.
So you are. How you doing today, guys? All right. Okay,
So,
you guys are super chatty.
yeah, I was gonna say there ain't no sports really going on. Football is like we're just waiting.
I mean, it's more
college
coach
football.
wrestling.
Well, I mean, we got contracts we can talk about. Obviously, Harbaugh goes to New York. So you're going to get to see him a couple times a year here, Pags. And
Jay.
Yeah.
I don't really count that, but and then of course, Washington aged out really quick. They're the oldest team in the league, so I don't know how competitive they're going to be. They're going to have some turnover for that roster, but with the talent that's on this Giants team, the number 5 pick, some competent coaching, I could see the Giants giving the Eagles a shot here. The Cowboys, I just never know what you're doing.
I don't either. I don't think Jerry knows what he's doing, to be honest with you.
Oh, Jerry.
I mean, I really don't. I mean, it kind of goes back to yesterday. I mean, we were talking about Jerry Jones. I mean, we just want him out of there so bad, but he's not going to go anywhere. So I'm in purgatory, and that's the way it is. You know?
I mean, yeah. So do you think they can take a big enough step forward that they're at least competitive in this division? Now, I'm not saying win this division or anything like that, but I think with some competent coaching and the talent that they have, especially if they actually go and address some of that offensive line, could definitely be competitive.
I think what I would like to see them do, honestly, if it was me, what I like to, because obviously, the pass rush just isn't there. So what I would like to see them do personally is take a couple of those picks that we got. Nobody got 2 of them. I think we're sitting at 12, and I don't think Bain Jr. Is going to be there when we're time to draft. So I would probably package him up a little bit, try to go up in that thing where they think they can get him at. And I would definitely go for a Bain Jr. I like the way he flies around. I've been watching him play for a little while now. He's physical. I like the way he gets up to the quarterback. He seems to be where the ball is, kind of like what Micah was. I'm not saying he's Micah, but he in that way. And I think that would be a good way. And obviously with our cap situation, that would be a good, easy way to get some pass rush going without having within our cap structure. And then after that, you're right. After that, I would probably look offensive linemen. Where can I find some O linemen? And then maybe you look at a free agency. And then I would look at probably secondary. We obviously need some secondary help. I would look at probably those 3 areas and focus on those. The defensive tackles work good. We just need a little bit of help on the offensive line, a little secondary help, and then pass rush. And I think a lot of that can be done through the draft.
Yeah.
That's probably the way I would go about it.
Brad, I didn't see anything about Dable officially getting hired.
He's actually interviewing for the Bills this morning.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So,
which honestly, if any team is going to hire him, I think that is the best spot just because he has the relationship with Josh Allen. He knows kind of what's made Josh Allen successful there in the past. And I think that's one team that he could go to, and it would be kind of similar to what they're already doing right now. And just obviously changing up the things that didn't work out.
Super quick, Dustin, did you see that the Packers released Trayvon Diggs?
Yeah.
I knew it. I felt like that guy was a bad egg when we let him go, but
he was only signed basically as a warm body because when the Packers were heading into Week 18, they literally had 3 healthy secondary players on their entire roster. So they needed warm bodies. So they said, "You're coming here and you're playing for 2 games, then you're leaving." That's literally what they told him.
Well, I mean, he's a boomer bust kind of guy anyway. Like he was the best available at that point in the year, but I mean. Yeah. He was making turnovers or getting burned, right? I mean, he was never that great in coverage. Jay, you know that firsthand. Think of how many times touchdown scores and Diggs was like barely in the frame on the TV. So
I think sometimes it's good to be aggressive, but I think he was so aggressive and jumping on it so fast that he didn't let the full play develop. And I think sometimes he got burned. You know,
well, and I mean, some of them he was just not in. Like, he was just out of position a lot. So, like, even the year that he was getting all of those turnovers, he was never in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year because
absolutely
he was also getting torched a lot.
Right.
I do have a little bit of an issue with the way that they did this, though. Because they released him and they released him now, these 4 teams have the ability to pick him up.
Sure.
So it's odd that they did it that way. Now, I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Does it really matter if he's not going to be on my team? I don't care. But ultimately, you're giving him an opportunity to possibly win a ring. If somebody gets hurt this weekend, I mean, they're going to pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that I would give him that opportunity. I mean, I guess the Packers don't care because they didn't really have to deal with him like that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they had him for 2 games. So they don't care. I guess the thing is if your team is hurt, and you're like, okay, we need a body, I guess, cool. And then if you're the other team, you're like, oh, I know we're going to get to torch this guy at least once or twice. So, I mean, I don't know how much it's really helping.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen it happen too many times in Dallas. Like I said, when he's on, he's on. But when, like you said, Bo, when he's off, and you just don't know how much it's going to cost you when he's off. You know,
well, and the problem is it's all during the same game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'd be one thing if it's like, oh, he's just having an off night out there, but he's good the rest of the time. Like he can be on and off within plays of each other.
Right.
So
then we had Mike McDaniel got signed by the Chargers.
So this lets you know how much of a disaster the Browns are. Because he was supposed to go in for his interview with the Browns. He decides to take a coordinator job instead of a head coaching job.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's probably going to make just as much as the coordinator out there than he would have as the Browns head coach.
Has he signed yet? Because I everything I read said that he has not signed yet.
Yep, he signed with the Chargers late last night / early this morning, like 1 a.m.
Yeah, I was going to say it had to have been this morning because I didn't see anything when I went to bed about it being official. They were talking about him going back to San Diego,
California,
back to LA, back to LA to have another meeting. But
that's the one I saw was when he was going back there to have a meeting.
But a second meeting a lot of times is somebody getting hired.
Yeah.
So,
well, and he didn't even entertain the Eagles.
No.
Yeah, no, he was very.
Somebody wants to go to that dumpster fire.
He wanted to go back to California, where he spent a good portion of his coaching career.
Yeah.
And that's kind of.
I think he said his wife. I think his wife's from California. And he wanted
your Just for Men is washing out already there, Jay.
I know. You can't hide intelligence, Pat. Let's say grades is a sign of
intelligence. I don't know that that's intelligence at all. I think that's just straight gray.
Know that yet. See,
hey, intelligence would be gray up here, like I've got, like you can kind of see it right there. But listen, that's all right because you're bald up top. That's why it ain't no intelligence up there. All the hair disappears.
Wait a minute. No, I just like you, man. I'm Pags Jr., man. Come on. Hell.
Now we got another potential minor coaching move that could be happening today, and it's somebody that Pags is very familiar with Bieniemy going to the Chiefs to take their OC job. The Bears are close to bringing in Deuce Staley to become their running backs coach and possibly the assistant head coach as well, because that is also the role that Bieniemy had.
I gotcha. Well, I mean, we'll definitely be watching.
With who? Who is that going to be with?
The Bears are close to getting Deuce Staley to go to Chicago because Deuce Staley has a relationship with Ben Johnson back from their days in Detroit. He's worked with DeAndre Swift when DeAndre Swift was with Detroit. And he was
surprised he hasn't gotten more play. There's got to be a disconnect in some way, shape, or form on why he doesn't get interviewed for head coaching. positions.
He's very similar to Bieniemy, I guess. As in, like, he's very good at what he does. He's very good at, like, working with the running back groups. He's very good at coaching whatever, like, role they give him with the organization. But when it comes to, like, the actual interviews for, like, higher up positions, whether it's an offensive coordinator or whether it's a head coach, he doesn't do very well in the interview process, which is ultimately kind of what's hurt Bieniemy as well.
Yeah. Now we do have Saleh going to Tennessee, and he didn't stay unemployed very long. This gives him a good chance to show that the Jets were just a dumpster fire.
See,
by going to another dumpster fire, I don't understand that. Actually,
they'll be more patient with him. It's not going to be like if you're not winning in 2.5 years, you're gone. And I think that's why he only was unemployed for a year.
Exactly.
I wonder how much they involved Cam Ward in that.
Why would you say that though?
He's going to have a 5-year. He's got a 5-year deal, so they're going to be more patient about actually building something.
But didn't Mike Vrabel get fired there 2 years ago?
He was in the final year of his deal, though, I believe.
Well, so the thing is they fire Vrabel. I think Vrabel's situation actually is going to afford Saleh time.
Yeah.
Because they basically had a GM that stopped giving Vrabel talent.
Mm-hmm.
His team just kept getting older and more injured, and they were still fighting for him. They fire Vrabel, I thought hastily. They bring in another guy who doesn't, last at all. And so now they they move away from the president of operations thing that could overpower the GM. Like they had a weird dynamic there. And so they've basically got rid of all of that situation, and they're starting fresh. So because they're doing that, it sounds like it's going to afford him more time, and he'll have more input as far as getting talent in the door.
I just wonder how much because I know Cam Ward wanted to be involved in the coaching process to find a coach that could let him do what he wants to do and those types of things and be more free and flowing.
Yep.
I don't see, obviously went defensively, so I don't know that they involve Cam Ward at all in that. And I just wonder how that relationship is going to work.
Well, time will tell on that one, right?
Yeah, it will. It will. That's what I'm saying. I wonder if he's going to give Cam Ward what Cam Ward is asking for to play that position.
Saleh's not a bad coach.
He's not.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm just saying he's more of a defensive minded. So I'm curious to see. I just don't think Cam Ward would have wanted an offensive minded coach.
They went offensive minded this year, and it did not work. Brian Callahan was offensive minded. He got fired. Mike McCoy took over for Brian Callahan. He was offensive minded. They didn't even entertain giving him an interview after the season was over.
All right.
And Mike McCoy is a very well-respected and a very good offensive mind. So the fact that they didn't even let him even interview for the head coaching job, that kind of goes to show you that the Titans want to go in a different direction.
Well, they definitely want to go in a different direction. I just wonder if that direction is going to be best suited for Cam Ward.
Get a good
what he could do for that team.
Just get a good coordinator. That's all Saleh's going to need.
Yeah, that's the thing is whether if you can make the case the other direction. Be like, okay, so you have an offensive minded. Well, you better get a good defensive coordinator, or your defense is going to be terrible. So
absolutely,
it's about building your team. Now, obviously, as he starts to fill out his coaching staff, that'll be the question, right? But I actually like this pickup for them overall.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
their defense should get better.
Yeah, I got you. Bill Callahan
moving over from Tennessee, so gonna lose his offensive or his O-line coach.
Okay,
that's a good pickup for the line. That's a good pickup for the Lions.
See, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know about that because let's be honest, that Arizona offense wasn't exactly dynamic.
They were much better when Jacoby Brissett took over.
He looks like Megamind to me.
Yep. Yeah, Arizona when for as bad as their offense was last year, though, they didn't have James Conner, they didn't have Trey Benson, so they didn't have their top two running backs. And then once Jacoby Brissett took over, The team played a lot better offensively when Jacoby Brissett took over. It's the fact that the defense last year for Arizona was trash.
Yeah, I mean, Brissett obviously commands the offense better than Kyler was, but I don't know. We'll see. Well, I mean, obviously it's probably going to be better than it was last year for the Lions anyway. But
plus, he's got 4 years of play calling experience, 3 years of play calling experience, as opposed to the guy they brought in this year in Detroit had 0.
Yeah,
so that's going to help too.
Yeah, I mean, there's less likely a chance that halfway through the season he just Campbell's like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and take this over.
Right.
Should be interesting. That's for sure.
Nice.
So the funny thing is, like, Dan Campbell's one of those coaches where I could see it getting to a point where if it got bad enough, he'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to call offense and defense. You guys just stay over here and do nothing. I'll just call the offense and defensive plays because I don't like what any of you are doing.
Yeah, I think if that happens, then you start to get some rumblings of Campbell being in a hot seat if he can't seem to build a staff. But which is funny to even mention that, considering he's the only thing that's made them a stable franchise.
I just find it funny how Bill Callahan is the offensive line coach as opposed to the offensive coordinator some way, because he was a great offensive coordinator with the Bengals.
Yeah, but he was the O-line coach for Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
I just wonder why they wouldn't maybe go after obviously they have to wait till after the playoffs, but why not go after, Seattle or the Rams offensive coordinator?
There's teams that already have, like Arizona wants Chris Shula. That's the Rams defensive coordinator, but now they can't talk to Chris Shula until after the Super Bowl's over.
Yeah,
So
well, and that's been the deal with Kubiak as well,
Yeah.
is he had during our bye week, he had like 3 different interviews that week. The Titans were one of them.
Right.
So he had an interview with Baltimore, Tennessee, and Miami. I think were the 3 that he had before, not being able to talk to anybody again because, obviously they're still playing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
This hiring was interesting to me. They get the Packers DC as their head coach down there. This does not move the needle for me.
It doesn't move the needle too much, but he does have 4 years of head coaching experience from college. So it's not like he hasn't been a head coach before.
Sure.
I think the thing that kind of blinds the Dolphins a little bit, and I respect Hafley a ton for it, he's a great podium guy. As in, like, whenever you hear him on the podium, like, he is a terrific podium guy. He's a terrific, like, motivator type of person. And I didn't think McDaniel was a motivator. So that's probably what the Dolphins saw. Like, my God, this guy's the opposite of McDaniels. Like, we need to get him here.
Yeah, I mean, all things being equal, it'll help their defense, right? And that's something Miami's needed help on. So, I mean, it's not like it's a terrible hire, but at the same time, it's one of those hires where you look at it and you're like, I don't think you got better.
But you knew once that guy was appointed GM, I forgot his name, but the guy that was with the Packers, and then the Dolphins made him the GM or whatever, you pretty much knew that somebody from the Packers staff was probably going to end up with the Dolphins. Whether that was Matt LaFleur, if the Packers didn't extend him, or Jeff Hafley. As soon as that Packers guy went over there, it was like, which one of these 2 guys is going to follow?
Yeah. Again, mostly for me, I just don't see this necessarily making them better, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be interesting. And I think a lot of it depends on who he brings in as offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, like you said, Bo,
Yeah.
That should be interesting. And then what's he going to – I wonder how that plays out with Tua and the quarterback situation there as well.
He ain't keeping Tua if he doesn't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I would have gotten
He
rid
might
of his –
he might be stuck with him this year because of the contract, but after that, they'll probably let him draft his own guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Where are they drafting? Where's Miami drafting by chance?
I think
I
13,
don't know.
12 or 13, somewhere
Yeah,
in there.
So this one was actually a little bit of a surprise to me. Now I understand Tomlin's out, whatever. But Danny Smith is still kind of regarded as one of the better special teams coaches around the league.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was one of those guys that would have been able to survive this coaching turnover.
Did he survive, or did he just decide to leave?
It sounded like he was let go, but I don't know that officially, right? That being said, Tampa's special teams just got better.
Yeah.
I mean, so he'll be out there chomping gum, and that'll be good for them. That'll be good for them. It was a good coach pickup for them for sure.
Yeah. And Todd Bowles, they didn't let go of Todd Bowles. He still has his job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't lose any key components.
Right.
Speaking of Todd Bowles, so this coaching cycle we have now, you have the 10 head coach openings that we just had.
Mm-hmm.
The last time that there was 10 head coach openings was the 2021 season. And the only two coaches that are safe right now, or not safe, but the only two coaches that remain from that cycle are Todd Bowles and Kevin O'Connell. The other 8 coaches of that cycle have been axed.
Yep. I mean, the NFL is not patient.
No.
Like, if you don't come in and immediately do some work, you get fired. Unless it's something that is they've guessed wrong a couple of times.
Yeah, right.
That's where it affords you some time, right? So Tennessee going to get some time. Vrabel would have got some time, even if they didn't just, jump off with a ton of success. The Panthers finally figured out, hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't fire a coach halfway through the season every year. So,
oh, you mean continuity's coming back? What?
Yeah, it's weird. Who knew? So yeah, I mean, you're starting to, but they have to guess wrong a few times, right? So,
yeah. I mean, that's why I don't like quick hires. I think you have to really do your due diligence to make sure, of all aspects of it, Yeah. Unless you just watched a ton of tape throughout the season and you just have a really good reading on them.
You got to follow that rule. Hire slow, fire fast.
Yeah. I agree.
Don't let somebody that isn't doing the thing continue to tank you, but be diligent about how you hire.
Yeah. Yeah. So. And I was interested. I was watching, I think it was Get Up this morning. They were talking about why has Cignetti not gotten any calls. I'm surprised nobody's called that guy. Not that he would leave, but I'm surprised at least they haven't at least fielded calls, or they haven't called him to reach out to him, because that guy seems like he has won at every single level of football. It just seems like his natural progression. Now, maybe what he's doing doesn't maybe translate over to NFL, like Saban kind of had a hard time doing it, but still, I mean, I would have at least given him a couple of calls and say, hey, are you interested, or would you be interested? This is weird that nobody's reached out to him.
Yeah, the Giants called on him, the Titans called on him, but he's already made it perfectly clear that he's not an NFL guy. The
Giants and Titans did call on him?
Yeah. He has no interest in going to the NFL. He's made that perfectly clear to a lot of coaches. I'm 64 going on 65 years old. I have no interest of even trying the NFL at this point. I've done what I've done. I'm happy being in college, and I'm going to stay here.
Yeah, well, and I mean, he made it very obvious that he wanted to defend this title also, because in his post game, or he says, yeah, we're going to enjoy this one. We're going to have a day off tomorrow, and then the next day we're back at it. So, yeah. It sounds like he wants to go do some back-to-back action.
The fun, I still remember the one reporter that kind of questioned his coaching philosophy earlier in the season. He had the best response to that reporter. Okay, look me up on Google. I've been successful everywhere I've gone. I'm like, that is the best answer I've ever heard a coach give a reporter.
All I do is win.
Look it up.
All I do is win, baby. Yeah, and he backs it up. That's what I love about it. You come out there with a statement like that, and then you back it up. That's just a beautiful thing, man. That's beautiful. And I think he is right. He probably should stay at the college realm because he has an opportunity to do what Nick Saban did, and build that legacy there. And if he can get anywhere even half of what Saban did for Indiana, that's a hell of a thing. Considering they've never had a football program, and then you go and do this, and man, that's a hell of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, let's calm down and before we crown him the next Saban.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say he was Saban. As a matter of fact, not even that. I said if he just gets half of what Saban did.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't even need to. Like whatever.
I know you're pulling the Donna on me right now. I get it, man.
Whatever happens.
I'm just saying generically before people start crowning him as the best ever. Championship. Let's see him run it back.
Yeah, whatever happens to Indiana from here on out, his legacy is solidified. For what he's done for what he's done for that program. The program's been a football team for 120 years. They have 2 10-win seasons. Both have come the last 2 years. They have won a total of 6 bowl games in 120 years. 3 of them came this year in the playoffs. His legacy is already solidified in Indiana no matter what they do from here on out.
Oh, I mean, even if you only ever bring one championship, you bring a championship, that school's going to remember you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's basically at this point already. He is the Nick Saban of Indiana. Whatever he does from here on out, he'll be crowned the Nick Saban of Indiana. He'll have a statue at Indiana at some point whenever he retires or whatever happens. His legacy at Indiana is forever going to be at Indiana now.
Did you not just hear what Bo said? He literally just said, "Let's not crown him this." I heard it, and I'm a chatty person.
I said at the school. I didn't say on the landscape. I said he's already going to be crowned the Nick Saban at Indiana for what he's done in 2 years.
That being said, say he gets a statue there. How grumpy a face are they going to put on that statue?
Oh, it's going to be great. That's why I want to see it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be
is it going to look like he's passing a kidney stone? Because that's generally what
how it looks.
Or it's going to be.
I think it'd be cool though. They should have a plaque underneath the statue that says "All I do is win." That would be awesome.
I would say that, or it's going to be or it'll be him holding a beer because they always ask him what he's going to do after the win. He's like, "I'm going to go have a beer." So it'll be a statue with him, and then be like, "I'm going to go have a beer."
Yeah. I mean, he even gave a shout out to the brewery. So
maybe the statue will be him holding a beer or a beer stein or something. No,
they're not going to go that far. But that would be It would probably be the Google me. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah.
Do you think that he gets because he won that national championship that he will be more revered than Knight? Wasn't Knight the coach over there?
Bob Knight. Yeah, Indiana. Yeah.
Same
university.
Not yet, just because Bobby Knight did it so long and so consistent. You knew what you were going to get out of Bobby Knight for basically 3 decades until the final 4 years of his coaching career when it went south.
Yep.
I'm not going to say
started throwing chairs.
Yeah. But I'm not going to say Cignetti's not going to win. I can't say that Cignetti's not going to win another one just because of the transfer portal, the NIL. You don't know what's going to happen.
For sure.
But college football is so much different than college basketball. But if he can do this for another 3 or 4 or even 5 more years where Indiana's winning double-digit games and getting in the college football playoff for another 3 or 4 years, then you probably can look at him like Bobby Knight just because it's a different landscape of college athletics now than what it was when Knight was coaching.
For sure. Well, and if he can make them consistent, not necessarily consistently a national champion, right?
Yeah, consistently in the college football playoff.
That's the only one he gets, but he gets in the playoffs and he wins a couple of the playoff bowl games every year. Yeah, he'll be highly revered at that school, no question.
Yeah.
When do you think he'll start getting offers for the pros?
He's ready. Giants and Titans already called him for this year.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, I thought that was unrealistic. I think that he goes back to try to do back-to-back years.
As long as Mark Cuban is going to be a donor, I don't see him leaving Indiana because Mark Cuban's putting in $23 million of his own money every single year.
Yeah.
And I mean, the program last year had they said $130 million in donations the last 2 years for the football program. Mark Cuban's a big donor. They have another couple of people that are big donors. As long as those guys continue to fund that program the way they have, Cignetti's not going anywhere because he's now making $15 million a year to coach. He made $6 million this year. He just signed another extension. That extension kicks in next year, so he's making $8 million this year, and then 2027 it goes up to $15 million.
25 million looks a lot better than 15.
Oh, it does.
Say
I agree. I just don't think he wants the headache of the NFL.
Yeah.
I think it's just a different headache. It's not like one is less than the other. They're just different.
Oh yeah, different headache. Yeah.
And actually, by the transfer portal is creating and kind of grooming you more for the pros than it has in previous years.
For sure. Yeah, the transfer portal and NIL absolutely is.
Because
it's pro-am, right?
Yep.
Like it's pro amateur football. I mean, it is what it is.
And that's why I think it was somebody on Get Up. I forgot who the hosts on Get Up are in the morning, but somebody basically said now, like, it's getting to the point where you might start to see a lot more college coaches try to get an NFL head coaching job, because the way college athletics are now, it's free agency every year. Like, you're going into the portal basically as like a free agent type pool where you're trying to get the best players to come from one school to the other school. Same thing with NIL money. It works as basically the contract when they get to your program. So now that these college coaches are getting this experience in kind of like a free agent type atmosphere, they can transition to the NFL once free agency hits. It's like, okay, I've done this before. Like, let's recruit people from here to come to my team and then let the contracts play out themselves.
Hey, what did you think? Since we're talking about college real quick, what did you think about Mendoza's brother going to Georgia Tech? Was that a good fit for him? No, I'm saying, do you think it was a good fit for him right there?
I don't know about the fit, but he wants his own legacy.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, sure. But I'm saying, like, the school, I mean, like, Georgia Tech, they have a pretty good football program, I think, over there.
It's a different style team, though. They're a run first team as opposed to a pass first team, so we'll see how that transitions with him.
Yeah, and that's true. That is true.
So, speaking of just the weird landscape that is college football now, with the NIL and transfer portal and obscure eligibility rules, this is Carson Beck.
Carson, I'm curious, did you have class yesterday? If so, what class? And I know there was a pep rally on campus. Just what has it been like being you as a student this week, particularly yesterday?
No class. I graduated 2 years ago, so obviously I've been working towards other degrees now that I've gotten to Miami, but these programs take a little longer than just a year to finish. So obviously I'm not enrolling again next semester, so I will be done after this season. But
so like, whoever the media team is there probably should have been like, hey, if there's anything you should say, this ain't it, right? Like, don't tell people that you are taking some like morning PE class to technically have a class to keep your eligibility, especially since this is like your 6th year of it. Plus, you've seen the landscape change where you can redshirt playing 9 games now, which is absolutely ridiculous. These rules have to be in place for the schools to make more money now. Like that has to be the case. For you to be able to play almost the entire season and redshirt, so that realistically they can just keep you at the college level longer.
Right.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Right.
For him to jump out there and be like, oh yeah, I graduated a couple years ago, and then kind of scramble and be like, oh yeah, something.
I'm working on other degrees. No, you're not. No, you're really not. You're taking basket weaving on the computer. You know, you're just doing a video conferencing class. That's all you're doing. And then you go to practice.
Yeah, you're probably paying someone else to go.
Come on, man. What are we doing? I'm taking a paint by numbers class. It's going amazing.
For real. And it's not even an in class, right? Like, it's an online class.
I don't understand why they just don't have football coaching philosophies as a class.
That would be
so SC was they were actually going to make that a class for Pete Carroll, and they may now because he's not with the Raiders anymore. But that was actually kind of Pete Carroll's way to get back into SC, is they were making essentially that class down there. So
well, and I'm surprised that universities haven't thought about this. It's a way to be able so that their pro football or their athletes could learn how to not only like become leaders after the game. Like that's that. There's a piece of me that thinks that makes sense. Some, you know,
yeah,
you know that you could become that your degree could be in football or basketball. And football management, basketball management is really what it becomes, because you're not just trying to train them how to read the X's and O's. You're trying to train them how to deal with people. So it's like a public, it's like dealing with the public in general.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I was an athlete, that would be probably a class. I said class I would take. I would take a public speaking class, because even if that's not available, like what you guys are talking about, I at the very least
there's lots of public speaking classes.
There's a lot of those classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do that right now. Yeah. It's called Toastmasters. You go find I'm sure there's probably 5 or 6 groups within a 5-mile 10-mile radius of you.
Yeah.
Right now.
And not even just that. If you do Toastmasters, Rotary Club, BNI groups, like they all do very similar things where, you know, you'd get up in front of them, you know, every few weeks.
Yeah. I mean, because like next to my house, like if I go 5 miles up the road, I'm at Sam Houston State University. So I live next door to Sam Houston State. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely. And I was thinking about doing that, because I think the public speaking would be great.
Those aren't even necessarily through colleges. Like those are.
I'm just saying, like what he was saying, like, and I'm sure around here, you're right, Pax. I'm sure there's a bunch of them around here. You know,
I mean, they're everywhere.
But, yeah. But I think as a football player, that's a good thing to take, because it would teach you how to speak, you know, and to the media and things like that. And yeah.
Well, and there's also PR classes.
PR classes, right?
Yeah, those exist in the world as well. But as far as like football management, stuff like that, yeah, they should have stuff like that.
I mean, that could be a whole curriculum. I'm thinking about like just how you would work that curriculum in general. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, you have like first off, you'd have to take certain real classes, like maybe a management class and stuff like that. But then you should also take like an acting class, like how to be able to speak intelligently in front of a camera, and an improv class on how you be able to think quickly on your feet so that you don't say an idiotic thing when asked a question about, hey, you know, what were you thinking about when you had that catch? Hi, Mom. You know what I mean? Like it's
yes.
Awesome.
Jerry needs to take it.
Man, Joe, you look, man, I'm telling you.
But yeah, so SC was going to do that. I think the issue that you run into is because it's such a niche, and it would be so limited initially, would be how to get that as an accredited course, right? Because that's always the tough part when these things first roll out, is getting accreditation for that type of course when it's such a small window. But as you get more of these coaches, like if it's successful at a location, then you'd get more of these ex-coaches that would go to different universities, because why not?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like when you're talking about an accreditation, that's up to the college itself.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. So the college itself, I mean, not for nothing. I mean, in the real world right now, you could take every class Harvard has to offer.
Yeah, of course.
And not only can you take those classes, but the teacher will grade all your assignments, do all your stuff and whatever. The caveat being, unless you pay Harvard, you don't get them credits.
You don't get the
So
degree.
you could take all of those classes, learn everything that Harvard's got to teach you.
Yep.
And never get one credit from Harvard.
Correct. Yeah.
So, I mean, again, if they can do all of that and not accredit you because you didn't pay, they say, hey, well, we're doing coaching philosophies 101. Let's start with Don Shula and Bear Bryant. You know what I mean? Like you could teach a whole semester on their coaching philosophies in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and go and move on from that. Like just keep on going. Like you could go crazy with that type.
No, you definitely could. The only reason I bring up accreditation is because once you get into the media world, they look at degrees very heavily.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get involved with legacy media, they care about degrees a great deal. And so that would be the initial part of it, right? So or if you're looking at it as, hey, I want to take this class and then go be a coach, I mean, I guess cool, but you're going to start at the bottom anyway, right? You're going to coach high school and whatever to work your way up, or maybe at the school while you're in that course or whatever. But if you ultimately don't go that route and you end up more towards the broadcasting end of it, then you need those credits to be applicable to that. Right.
Which it would be, because you're talking about exactly what it is they're talking about, what you'd be doing for the broadcast.
That's what I'm saying.
You took those broadcasting classes.
I'm just saying, as they roll it out, because it would be such a small niche, it would be getting that accreditation where it applies to other stuff. That's it. That's all I'm saying there. Once it takes off, then those things aren't an issue, right? But the media world is so funny about, you have to have this, like, if you're here in the Seattle area, if you wanted to go work at Cairo or Como or Fox or any of those guys, if you want an intern position, a paid intern position, which is like $17 an hour, they're like, oh, but you have to have your bachelor's in journalism. If I got my bachelor's in journalism, $17 an hour ain't getting it done. That's not interest on student loans. Like, what are we doing?
Well, that's like the guy that works with me at ESPN, Logan. You know, he got a mass communications degree, and he's working at a radio station. I think it's 105.5 FM there in Atlanta, and that's what he's doing right now. And he's going to slowly work his way up. And I think ultimately, he wants to get something in broadcasting with sports and things like that. That's his ultimate goal. And I think that's what you have to do. You have to get the degree, and you're going to work at the bottom, but you work your way up.
Everybody's got to cut their teeth. Everybody's got to cut their teeth.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So the good thing about the internet is that you can skip some steps. You don't have to have that college degree to be able to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about in front of a camera. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean anybody's going to watch you, but if you're good at it, more people will watch you, and that's how things can really grow from there. You know what I mean? It's just like
No, if you can get a huge following, then yeah, obviously at that point, legacy media will overlook some things because then they want your viewership. Right?
Well, yeah, for sure they do. And I think I'm sure Pat McAfee has a degree, but even if he didn't, the way he's so charismatic and was able to get him stuff out there, that I can see why they don't want that viewership that Pat has.
Well, it also helped that he was in the NFL and he can get these guys on the show.
Sure. Yeah, no, it does. No, I'm not saying it doesn't. He has a very charismatic way of doing things.
Having high-profile guests helps.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, yes.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a difference. So, if you want to bet on the fact that these colleges are going to incorporate these classes, you could do that.
Right there. With the QR code on the screen. Up to 125. I thought you were going to keep going. That's why I was just like,
I didn't know the whole commercial. I didn't have the read.
You're like, I'm not prepared.
Well, you're supposed to. I give you the handoff, and you fumbled it. What happened?
No, I was letting them run with it. Up to 10% bet guarantee, in case you happen to listen to this panel. Otherwise, use the QR code on the screen. All right. And of course, if you're here in the Pacific Northwest, you can use this QR code right here. Free 5-day pass, any of the 3 locations of True Fusion Gym, Bellevue, Ballard, University Village. And they have their Reformer Studio launching here in just a couple of weeks. Stay tuned for that. Again, free 5-day pass, any of the 3 locations using. All right.
You guys ready for some baseball?
I was going to pivot right to baseball. Actually, I have some stuff to talk about.
Can I just ask one question though? Just one question. AJ Brown, and this was for you, Pex. AJ Brown, I saw earlier they were talking about maybe a possible look at trading. Maybe Buffalo was in the mix. Do you think that AJ Brown does get traded, and do you think that Buffalo would be a good spot?
I'll be honest. I think they're going to want too much. It's going to depend on who the offensive coordinator is. I think there's a lot that's going to come into play with this. I really believe that they don't want to trade A.J. Brown. The fact that he wants a trade, they try whatever they can to fix it. And I think that that's going to be the case again. He is not Terrell Owens, and that's not going to turn into that type of situation. Yeah. So I think that because they already have some experience in this regard, they are likely going to attack this in a certain way, and they're going to ask for, like, listen, all right, this is your worth. We're going to ask for this worth. If we don't get this worth, you're going to be back here, and you got to be ready, prepared for that. You know what I mean? So if you want to get a trade, talk to that camp. Make sure they're willing to give us what we want because you're worth it to us this much. And when you approach it in that regard, a player can't really be like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, what else are they going to say? Like, hey, listen, you guys like me this much. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. But I think he'll be here, or if they do trade him, it will be after June 1st. It'll be one of those June 1st trades.
Sure.
And, he'll wind up going to whoever's going to give us all of those picks.
I agree with that. Okay. Just wanted to ask you that question. I saw that, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. Okay. Baseball. What are we talking?
Baseball.
Baseball.
So I hate the Hall of Fame. I absolutely hate the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And we have two guys going in. Chase Utley just missed it. Mm-hmm. You know, he's at 60%, needs another 15%. He's at 59.1%. He needs another 15.9% to be able to make it. It's likely he will make it over the next couple of years. The fact that they're doing it like this is just blows my mind in the first place. The fact that Alex Rodriguez has only got 40%. And I get it. He's listed as one of those guys.
They don't want him in. They just don't want him in.
And that's what makes it the Hall of somewhat good. It's not even the Hall of great anymore. It's the Hall of somewhat good. Andrew Jones, I can see.
No, I was going to go the other way. I can see Beltran just because he's one of the best switch hitters to ever play the game. I would have picked Beltran over Jones.
Well, and Andrew Jones was good for a really long time. You know what I mean? And he was part of that Braves team that just kept winning and kept winning. They didn't win World Series, but they did go to like 13 division titles in a row. And, he was one of the leaders on that team. And that makes sense to me. You know what I mean? It makes sense on why he was chosen. Carlos Beltran, similar situation, but it is what it is. Jeff Kent, the fact that he's like, the old people community is going to pick Jeff Kent in there. Right. My question for you, Jay, is both of these guys had very small stints with the Astros. Mm-hmm. Does the Astros community acknowledge and appreciate the fact that these guys get into the Hall of Fame? Or is it just a meh?
I think it's more of a, well, no, we actually appreciate it because I think one of the things it just goes to help get Houston more into the Hall of Fame. We don't have a whole lot of Hall of Famers. I think we got maybe 3 or 4 maybe that actually went in as Houston. So I think it does good.
Yeah, well, neither one of them are going in as Houston.
No, not at all.
Oh, Beltran's not going to go in. Okay, yeah, I don't. Well, that makes sense. They don't have. No, honestly, I personally have not heard anything in the community about it. And I talked to a lot of people around here, and I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's really a big thing.
That's a meh. Like if they didn't do anything overly awesome with your school, like Jerry Rice technically was a Seahawk once.
Right.
We don't celebrate the fact that he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I mean, that's all, but it's like Andy Pettit, though. I was surprised that Andy Pettit, because he also has 10 at Houston as well. But I'm surprised Andy Pettit didn't get in over those two.
He's not even 50. He's not even at 50% yet. He's only got 2 years left. I don't think he's going to make it.
Yeah.
And I can see that, though. I'll be honest, Andy Pettit shouldn't make it. He was a really, really good pitcher. You know, the Phillies were always talking about trying to get him from the Yankees, and the Yankees always wanted a little too much. You know, not a lot too much, just a little too much. But he was a really, really good pitcher. I don't think he was Hall of Fame worthy. You know, and that's where that is. When I look at the list of people that are on here that aren't making it, you know, besides the 1-year guys, you know, like, because I don't think, you know, the 1-year guys, nobody thinks about it unless you were crazy. Like Cole Hamels, out of all the 1-year guys, he got like 24% voting. Okay. That tells me he's on a trajectory to possibly go in. And Cole Hamels, I think eventually, like, I don't think he should have been a first ballot guy. You know what I mean? Obviously, I think he'll probably go 3 ballots and he'll get in. He'll have enough because he was definitely one of the top left-handed pitchers in the game when he played. You know?
Let me say one thing real quick. I want to go back real quick because I think this is pretty important. Because you asked me a question about Houston, and I just kind of thought about this, and I really wanted to expand it. There is one thing that I think Carlos Beltran going in that makes a difference for Houston. Now y'all aren't going to want to hear this because it goes.
But it's the 2017. I just read it myself.
But it's about 2017. It really does open up the door, though, for Altuve, Bregman, Springer, you know, and all those other guys that are a part of that team. It really opens up the door, though, for the. No, it does. No, it does. It does because at one time nobody wanted to be associated with that scandal, and I kind of thought that might be one of the things that kept them out. Just like the steroids, because you let one steroids guy in, now you got to let them all in.
That's the thing.
You done broken that rule.
That's the thing, though. If they're not going to let Roger Clemens and some of these guys in, nobody, the only player from the Astros scandal from 2017 through 2020, whatever it was, that will even have a chance to make the Hall of Fame is Jose Altuve, just because he's probably going to get to 3,000 hits. And even if he gets to 3,000 hits, you're not going to punish him for what happened during that World Series run because even without that, the guy's still going to have 3,000 hits. Like, he's still going to be a Hall of Fame worthy player, even with that hanging over his head. So you're not.
Well, I'm not saying. Look, they still have to meet they still have to have the stats and things like that. All I'm saying is that you know, by letting Beltran in though, because he was a major part of that. It just they won't use that against him. Now he's back to a playing field where you got to have the stats to get in. But you don't have to worry about this scandal being one of the things that keeps you out.
I look at it as like, first off, I don't remember Carlos Beltran being a major part of that team
he was
winning.
He had a good part of that.
Yeah. So when you look at his,
that's why it's different because they're not judging Beltran based on his coaching resume. They're looking at what he did as a player. He's not getting in the Hall of Fame as a coach. He's getting in for having 430 home runs and like 300 some stolen bases. Like, he was one of the best switch hitters in baseball history for about 15 years. That's what they're grading him on.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the fact that he was in there at 2017, which was the last time that he actually played any baseball, right? Like he actually played in some games there. Yeah. After that, he was taboo. You know what I mean? They would not touch him anymore. If you remove that 1 year, he still would make it into the Hall of Fame.
Matter of fact, didn't he go to Detroit as a coach and they removed him from Detroit? Like, he didn't even get to play. Or coach a game, I think. But didn't
he was actually trying to go to the Mets, and he was actually hired by the Mets initially but then 2 days later they terminated his contract.
That's right.
and
I knew it was
that's
one of
how
those
they
good.
ended up
Yeah. So
That's how they ended up getting the guy in there before their current manager.
Yeah.
So here's guys. So the one guy that I see that I feel like Manny Ramirez. Obviously, he's got 38.8%. It was his 10th year of eligibility, which may take him off the list.
He can still get in though, based on like that players vote, because there's those.
That's the legacy. That's the legacy that
Jeff
Jeff Kent
he'll
got
get in because of that.
Well,
So
a guy like Omar Vizquel's going to get in. That's how
Yeah.
Sheffield's going to get in. It's going to be
because Omar Vizquel is in his 9th year. He's only got 18% of the vote. Like, he's not going to get enough. But Manny Ramirez and Alex Rodriguez are the two guys that really surprised me. And again, when you think about this for next year, Chase Utley, who is the one who's on the outside looking in his 3rd year, Andy Pettit, who's also kind of down there. Like, my expectation is that, it's possible. Felix Hernandez in his 2nd year has got 46%, so it's likely he's going to make it too. The piece of me that thinks that, okay, you're going to wind up voting these guys in specifically, and I wouldn't be surprised that if you vote in Chase Utley, that you also vote in Cole Hamels, and that Jimmy Rollins will get an extension of that vote because of that, where you may try to do all of them at once, and Jimmy Rollins won't make it because he's only at he's in his 5th year. He's at 25% of the vote, so I don't think that that's going to be enough. He didn't do enough, I believe, to be able to be in there. Not that I feel like that Chase Utley did enough either. I mean, I feel like that he was only there for a certain amount of time. But I mean, it's like, okay, I would accept Chase Utley. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll take that. Andy Pettit might make it just because there's nobody else to go next year. So that's who I think the top 3 are going to be: Chase Utley, Andy Pettit, and Felix Hernandez. And Cole Hamels may take a significant jump to be able to do that.
Then the last thing I got to say quick about baseball before we get off is there's going to be a lockout without question. Reports came out yesterday from The Athletic that all 29 owners, taking out the Dodgers for obviously, all 29 owners are outraged with the Kyle Tucker deal to the Dodgers. All 29 owners have informed Rob Manfred that they are pushing for a salary cap 100%. No salary floor, no salary floor, no nothing. He's already informed Manfred that if there's no salary cap agreed upon, there is going to be no baseball. So now Manfred's going to have to go to the players' union right now, basically, and be like, you better start planning your arguments because ownership ain't going to budge on this one.
Well, they got to have a floor.
Yeah.
If that's, they're going to
They
have
can
to
have a floor, yeah, but they've told Manfred that after this Tucker deal, like, it's done. Like, there's no more no salary cap. Like, the owners outside of the Dodgers now are just like, nope, it's got to happen.
Yeah, because the Dodgers are in theory cheating. You know what I mean? It's not cheating.
By the rules, but they have a TV deal.
No, they have a competitive advantage. They have a competitive
so
advantage.
So this is the unspoken George Steinbrenner rule.
Yep.
That's what this is. It's the unspoken George Steinbrenner rule.
Yep.
And they're breaking it now, and they're going to be like, okay, well, if you guys are going to break it, listen, the Dodgers, I mean, I expect that they're going to really, they're going to start getting beamed. I think baseball polices itself.
Yes.
It's going to start a big deal that you're going to watch a couple of bench clearing brawls.
Like the thing with Tucker too.
But actual fights.
Like Tucker, Tucker's the one that I think is going to get punished the most this year because he took a 4-year, $240 million deal with the Dodgers. So essentially $60 million a year. Sure. The Blue Jays offered him 10 years at $350. You're getting $100 million more to go to the Blue Jays. Why didn't you take that deal? If the Blue Jays went to the World Series last year and took the Dodgers 7 games.
I understand.
Is the $60 million a year that much more important than getting $110 million?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hold on. You're asking 35 to 60. I mean, if it was 35 to 40, maybe I'd go longevity. 35-60. That's double.
But he can opt
Right.
out though after year 2 with the Dodgers.
No,
So
no,
if
no.
he ends-
But you're also almost guaranteed a ring,
Oh yeah.
right? This is the Kevin Durant to the Warriors. They won 72 games, and then they're like, "Hey, let's go get this all-world talent."
I mean, you literally have an all-star person at every position. I mean,
it's
what the hell?
But you also have the egos. The one thing I think about with Kyle Tucker is that he is a cancer-like.
he is, and I am so happy the Cubs did not entertain the idea of bringing him back. I am so happy.
So I think that you're going to see, again, the dream team. That's a dream team. And
when
what
he was with
happens with dream
Astros,
team?
though, he didn't have those issues. He didn't have any
Because
issues
you
with
had guys
Astros.
like Bregman,
Dream team that
Altuve.
went to the Olympics did pretty well.
You had like Jay when he was with the Astros though. You had Bregman, you had Altuve, you had Springer, you had all these other guys that kind of took the leadership role away from Tucker. Tucker's not a leader, and he proved it last year. Like he needs people to basically steal the spotlight for him, and then he just kind of slides in behind him and does what he does. Like when the pressure's on him, he's not that great of a player.
And only the original dream team lived up to its billing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, well,
Everyone beyond that has
first
fallen apart.
the first two iterations of it, yeah.
Yeah, and also there was a difference because you had Michael Jordan, you had Kobe Bryant, you had those guys that
We
were
was
there, and greatness.
You are.
Those were great players.
Yes.
You know, again, it wasn't really good players. They were
No,
greatness.
they
That
were-
was greatness on a court.
No question. No question.
and they all wanted to win bad, and they all had that competitive spirit to win bad. They didn't have all the prima donnas, this, that, and the other. They knew what they had to do, and they did it. I don't know.
All right. That being said, that does get us to the top. If you've been watching along, be sure to like and subscribe. Otherwise, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.